Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Tuplex. Since the last episode, I have been quite busy. Finished putting together the copper smelting area. Right now, I only have the first two sections operational, just because we don't really need that much copper right now. And these are pretty much full of, not full of ore, but they are fairly full of copper plate. I did put some 4-length stations here as well, since we're delivering copper plate with 1-4 trains to the main base and to the red circuits area and to the low density structure area. So I think I'll continue to have at least a couple of stops that can accommodate a 1-4 train versus a 3-8 train. And then the other ones, the other three, I shut off power. I labeled it with a 400 because we have 400 furnaces here. And we can see down here that we've got plenty of ore on its way in. At least I think that's the ore coming in. I should put a radar down there. But anyway, that's done. And I've started labeling these copper smelting ore 1, copper smelting plate 1, and then 2, 3, 4, and 5. I may decide to change that later to, I may just want to give these all the same name so that they'll start to balance themselves out naturally. But I think for now I'm just going to have a dedicated set of trains to each one. And see how that works out. So eventually we'll want to have at least five trains bringing in ore, and at least 5 trains delivering plates. What is this? Oh, okay. I remember I set that up a long time ago to tell me when this patch was starting to run low. And now it is, apparently. All right, let me go ahead and mark those for deconstruction. That way we can shut that alarm off. At least I hope it'll shut itself off. There we go. Okay, and they're not picking those up because there's not enough roboports. Let's see, I think I can fix that remotely. There we go. And of course I have the AutoDeconstruct mod going, so they'll take out the mining drills as they get used up. Looks like they don't get belts, unfortunately. In any case, copper is set up. And then I went ahead and I made an iron smelting area using essentially the same design. This one's slightly different. I am sharing, I made a 3-way intersection for the in and the out. That might be a little too much traffic there. Here I have the entrance and the exit separated by quite a bit. Why is this train? Is it out of fuel? Alright, I think that train's out of fuel. We're going to have to head down there. Let's go take a look. That is copper smelting. Yeah, so anyway, I created iron, 320 furnaces here. That's what helmod is telling me that we're going to need. So in this case, it's 4 sections instead of 5. And again, I have the first 2 running. The other ones are without power. And I think I must have run out of fuel. Let me take a little bit of fuel with me. Although I'm not sure how that happened, because I thought that I had everything refueling. Yeah, it is out of fuel. Where is this one going? Oh, this is going to copper ore load 3, which is the old, that's this one that I was just looking at. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have any supply there. All right, so let me give that a little bit of fuel to keep it going, and then we'll go and fix that. I'm gonna have to come up to my passenger station to catch my train again. That outpost may not last a whole lot longer anyway, but I am delivering solid fuel there, so we might as well make use of it. Alright, so that's copper ore load 3. I don't have that in my list right now. Alright, so let's head over there and fix that. While we're heading there, in addition to setting up copper and iron smelting areas, I also added a few more mining outposts for copper and iron. I'll show you those in just a second. I don't know if it's quite enough yet, because actually, where the heck is this guy going? Okay. Well, anyway, this is one of my new mining outposts. For iron. Copper ore load 3. Alright, let's go to copper ore load 3 since the supply station is shut off. That's an iron outpost. That's iron 6. I started labeling these with numbers so it's easier to see from the map. That started with 13 million ore. We're down to 12. I also set up this... hang on. I want to go to manual before I get too far in there. Okay. Yeah, I also set up this copper. Here we have 22 million and 19 million. And what I did is I set up the robotics over here. You'll see I have almost 1,000 efficiency 1 modules that were just sitting in inventory, so I decided that since I have them, I might as well make use of them where I can. So a lot of these miners have efficiency modules. And then there's another patch up here. In this case, I just used belts, and then I'm bringing the belts down and going into provider chests here. That way we can cover both patches with a single stop. Okay, so over here we just need to set up some refueling. Looks like there's a belt on the ground there. So let's do that. Request solid fuel, which we have some of. There we go. And then hopefully that little problem will not occur again. And that should turn the station back on. Yeah, so supply station is back on. All right, so that little problem is fixed. What else? I had an iron station that was just waiting to be emptied over here. I've removed that from the map since there was no more iron contained within it. Okay. Yeah, and I added this copper. I added this iron. And I think that's about it. I think that's about all that I've done since we last spoke to one another. Oh, also, I've got this iron station that we've just been waiting to empty out. This is for... what is this? I don't don't even think I'm using that. Okay, good. This is the old iron station, and right now the only trains using it are the ones that go to the main base. And those have just been running until I can get everything emptied out. It's going to be a while before that's done. Once that's emptied, then I'll dismantle it, and then I'll just use this for steel smelting exclusively. We do need to add some more steel smelters. If we look here at our steel requirements, helmod says we need 256 furnaces. Right now we've got, let's see, well, there's 324, but half of those are making iron plate. So whatever half of 324 is, 160, 162 is what we have making steel. So we'll need to, you know, add another 50% or so to steel, and we've got plenty of room to do that. So this will continue to be steel smelting. I'm still running red circuits here, but I think eventually I want to move that either here where I have circuits going, and I'm still only using one of the circuit areas, or I might make a separate area making red and blue circuits. Haven't really decided yet how I want to handle that. I'm afraid if I add it onto here, this is just going to get to be a little too big. So I'll probably do a separate area for red and blue, and I'll move it from here. I don't want it to be here anymore because I want to have all of these production areas have plenty of room for trains to move in and out without getting in each other's way. In the meantime, I do want to start to set up the science area, and then start to work my way backward. That way we can start sending some resources over there. And I know I'm not going to be able to make all the science packs yet until I get some of these other outposts done. But I want to start putting that over here, which is why I've put that little lab thing there. Okay, so let's head over there and we will start to plan it out. And my plan is to have one area for all the science packs, and we'll just unload all of our supplies there. Okay, so I'm gonna head over towards iron smelting, since I think that's, yeah, it'll be coming off of the same line as the iron smelting area. So let's head over there. And then I'll switch to manual once we start heading down that way. Section of track that I left over here. That was from when I was planning out the iron. Yeah, I had a lot of trains backed up over here, but it looks like it's fixed itself. All right, so for the science build, we're going to be bringing in 3/8 as well as 1/4 trains. So it needs to be wide enough to accommodate 3/8 at least. So I think we'll make the width based on that. Now I don't. I'm looking to see if I have a stacker that's coming south. I could probably use this. I think I could blueprint this and then rotate it. Let's try that. Except in this case, I'm going to want the exit to be going like this. Yeah, so I really want a stacker like this instead. So let me copy this one. We'll take off these curved tracks. I think I'll have to lose that signal as well. Okay. And that'll hold 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That'll hold 11 trains, which is probably too much, to be quite honest. All right. So first, let's set up the rail exit, and I'll put it right here. So we'll go to our blueprint, grab our rail exit, and right about there looks fine. Okay, and then we can place our stacker. And again, I don't know if I really need 11 trains. And do I want to make it this close to the uranium patch? Let me see if I have other... Yeah, I've got... Okay, yeah, I've got plenty of other uranium patches. I don't think I'm going to need that one. Alright, so we'll go ahead and put it here. Yeah, and 11 trains stacking up. That's fine. We'll go with 11. All right, let me get my train. Looks like all the supply trains are backed up behind me. I think I need to eventually get down to a single supply train. Or maybe one supply train for the walls and one for refueling the stations would be good. All right, let's clear out some of these trees. Okay. All right, let me grab some rails. And then I'll just build this over to the right, to the east. I think that'll give us enough room. All right, so let's grab more rail, and I'll grab some stations. Okay, so let's look for a 3/8 unloading station. That's going to look something like this. Although I'm not going to use that. We'll take that out. Okay. All right, so it's going to be something like this. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then I just need to add this other power pole back in there and a light. All right, so we'll call this I don't know. I'll just call it science for now. And then we need to make a passenger station as well. So let's go ahead and add that. All right, and then we're going to put a signal behind. No, let's go ahead and do that. 2 more. Okay, and this is going to be science passenger. And then from here, we will exit. And we'll put a signal there, and we'll put chain signals there. All right, so let's bring my train over. There we go. Okay, and then this is going to come up to rejoin the main line. Like so. Okay. And then let's bring in some power. There we go. And that'll be a good place for a radar, I suppose. And I'll add a few more signals here. Just to allow the exit to be quicker. Okay, so this is where science is going to go. And my thinking here is that we would use an unloading station with active providers because we're going to be bringing in lots of different materials here. And so my thought was that if we have 1 or maybe 2 unloading stations with active providers, they would then go into storage chests, and then the bots would take from the storage chests. Otherwise, we're going to need a lot of unloading stations, you know, for copper plate, iron, green circuits, red circuits, blue circuits, stone, etc., etc. We would end up with a very big base because of all the unloading that's going to need to go on. So that's why I thought I would just use active providers. They would get emptied out. Although, if we do that, we're going to need to be able to control how many trains come here, because if we have too much of something already and then we bring in another train, it might not unload fast enough, or we'll just fill up our storage with stuff that we don't need and not be able to unload the stuff that we do need. That would be a danger as well. So I'm not quite sure how to do that yet. Maybe we could put stations over here, waiting stations for each material. In fact, Yeah, in fact, maybe we could have a stacker for trains coming in, and then, you know, for example, put a station here for iron, one for copper, et cetera, and then based on the contents of the logistics network, call the train in when we need to unload more. And just have it wait here for a signal. That could be a good way to do it. We might need another stacker then, if we're going to do that. Or we could just put multiples. You know, like maybe have 2 for copper, 2 for iron, 1 for circuits, you know, depending on how much we need of each item. So yeah, I'll think about doing it that way. That could be a good possibility to keep things moving. Anyway, I'll give that a little bit more thought, and in the next episode, we'll start setting that up. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.